What's up guys, it's Dan Man, bringing another video for Draconia Saga. Today we're going over the LANCER. Full breakdown, account overview, we're gonna optimize everything. Major shout out to Test. We'll be going through his account to do the deep dive. So let's get into it. All right, so starting off the bat, we're gonna be looking at the gear, but I just wanna note a couple things. So he has a very high BR, 187k, but his P attack ratio is way off, 14.9k. We should be close to 18.7k. You want to keep it at 10% of a ratio. So we're going to see if we can work on that. The penetration is solid, 122. PvE enmity, 10%. I feel like we could get that much higher. PvE resistance, 11.7%. Overall, not too bad. All right, so taking a look at the gear, this is perfect. This is close to perfect. You want to have the into strength and the penetration, but then you want to choose P attack or all aptitudes. Choose one or the other. You need to have strength in there, but this one's looking close. HP you definitely don't need, not on gear. And again, we're running into this issue with the all aptitudes P attack. The into strength is very strong, and additionally you want to try and get penetration as much as you can, but overall you got the right idea for when you can't find those other stats. Crit resistance, this is just a waste of a slot, so I would throw into strength on there. Penetration here for the P attack if you can get it. Defense, wasted slot. P attack or penetration if you can get it. Last up on the gloves, crit damage. It's overrated. It's not good for a base stat. And VIT. So you can get rid of both of those. You're looking for the into strength, P attack, penetration. So that about sums it up on the gears. Definitely some room for improvement. So that'll give you some nice stats there. Some overall damage boost. Let's get into the skills. So for skills, I'm going to leave in the description of the video a link to the best skill pages you can use for Lancer. We're going to go over the World Boss, PvE with no break build. We're going to go over the Breaker build for maximum damage with PvE. And then we have two builds for PvP. We have one for solo and one for multi. Included is a screenshot for the skill sequence. So let's change that right now. And oh, after second look, you actually have the best skill rotation here. So that is solid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very good. Now, just for the sake of seeing how his skill builds look, bear with me for 1 second. All right, so under his PvP, we're going to want to change this. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put that in here for plan 1, the World Boss build. Set this here. So we're going to go 4, 1, 1. Here we're going to go 4, 1, 1, 2. 4 points here, 4 points here, 1 point here, 4 points here, point here, 4 here, 1 point here, 2 points here, and then from here you work your way down. We're going to throw 1 point in there. And remember, follow the link in the description so you can see the furtherance of the tree and the other build. Next plan, we have the Breaker build. It's ideal for PvE. Set this one, start fresh. We got 4 points here, 4 right next to it, 4 down from it, 4, 4 here. We got 1 point to 4 points, 4 points on this node, 4 points on this one, 1 point, 4 here, 4 on this one, 1 on this one. That is where we stop. So furtherance though, you will be going down, and again, follow the build and the link in the description. Now the last two that I wanted to make you, we're gonna have solo PvP, multi. Going over the solo first, 4 points here, 4 points here, you got 1 point here, 1 point here, 4 here, 1 point here, 1 point here, here, 4 points here. And working our way down, we got 4 points here, 1 point here, 4 into this one, 1 point here, 4 into this one, and then we'll be working our way down. We got 4 into this one, and that's where we're going to be able to stop, but we're going to keep going. Again, following the build in the description. This is your PvP solo build. So now we're going to work onto the multi build. 4 points here. We go down 1, down 1. We got 4. We got 4 points here. 1 point here. And we got 1, 1, 4. 4 points going down. Point here. 4 points here. And this. 4 points here, going for 4 more points here, and here's where we're going to stop with 2 points. You will eventually get 4 points in this one, and then you keep going and following the tree. Again, link is in the description. And there you have it. Those are the skill builds. These are the 4 core that you're going to be working. We're going to switch over, and primarily you're going to be using Breaker for nearly every. All right, so let's move on. We're going to jump into function. Quickly, just want to go over the workshop, check out the upgrades. So I do want to note, the way you build these, you want to work on all of level 6s, and then go straight for level 9, primarily focusing on the weapon, the hands, and then the crit. because the hands will give you the P attack, ring will give you the crit. Then you can go back and you can work your way up, getting the rest for the defensive stat. Definitely want to finish these off on level 9. Doing a great job here in Refine. The next goal being 77% on all of his stats. Again, I would follow the weapon, the hands, and the chest on this one. Perfect for weapon modification. Mountain Mist. It is the best one to use. Later on in the late game, once you have Mountain Mist maxed out, you're going to be going for Titan, as Titan will be best for PvP. But overall, looking pretty good. Polish is maxed out. That's very good. Workshop, very solid. All right. The fun times, Drakites. So right off the bat, I'm going to slowly just quickly remove these. Got the second one, third one, fourth one, and the fifth one. All right, so we're going to start with the first page. If you guys aren't familiar with this, the first page and the fourth page are the most important. When you click on the center, it'll tell you your resonance stat. Drakites of this page have an increase of 2% for their P attack and their M attack, as well as an additional boost to defense percent. These are the biggest stat buffs you're going to get. So this is where you're going to want your strongest Drakites. We're going to switch to the blue tab, and we're going to go one by one and check things out. So for the first one, we have Isaac. He's an EX. Now scrolling down, it looks like he has started to rebirth him and has gotten a little lucky. This is not too bad of a start. So he is a solid EX. But because he doesn't have P attack up top, in the basic attributes, we're going to hold off on putting him in right now. So on to the next one, we have Gamora. Gamora is another great one. We have some PvE resistance, critical damage amplifier, and critical amplifier, but these stats are all green, so you can tell he hasn't rebirthed this a lot. Again, he's just really gotten lucky with decent roll. Additionally, this one doesn't have the P attack for the basic attribute, so we're going to leave this one out for now. Next one, we have Iris. Iris has not been rebirthed at all. And going into rebirth menu, checking out the probabilities tab at the bottom by clicking on the exclamation point, you can scroll through to see which stats you're able to get. And the key thing to note is that for level 12, you want to be able to get PvE enmity, crit rate bonus, critical multiplier bonus. These three stats are core. If I had to put them in order of which one is better, it essentially would go PvE enmity, crit rate bonus, and then crit rate multiplier. However, they're all very equal. You want them balanced. You want to gain them equally. So these are the stats that you need to be aiming. For an SSR, you'll find them at level 12 and above. For the EX, you'll find them in level 9 and above when you're doing your rebirth. So that being said, Iris is not ready to be used. However, should be a great addition for the future. Next up, we have Tull. Now again, with the critical rate bonus, critical amplifier, critical multi-bonus, critical multiplier bonus. This is actually a great start, and I can tell you haven't rolled these much. So this has just been some great luck. Now we do have int up top. There is no P attack, so while this is looking great, I'm not going to plug him in just yet. Next up, we have another Tull, and this one looks about normal. Haven't rolled yet on this one for rebirth, so this one's a safe skip. Next up, we have the Tisha. Here we go with the P attack up top right off the bat. However, there is nothing core down here, so we are going to skip her. However, she is definitely one that's worth rebirthing and putting on every page, so definitely keep her in mind for the future. Again, we have another Tisha, and again, this one has not been worked on for rebirth. Next up, we have Shakti. Shakti does have that critical multiplier bonus, defense up top, so we're going to pass on him for now. We have P attack up top with Dino. Dino is nice. Critical damage amplifier. However, it's really just not enough. You need to rebirth these. Rebirth gets costly, but it's crucial when using URs or EX. Without them being rebirthed, SSRs are superior. So we're going to pass on the Dino. We got another Dino here. Again, not rebirth. Another Dino here. Again, not rebirth. Did get a nice critical rate bonus stat though. We're going to pass here. Dahlia. Now this one, Dahlia is a super bad choice. And here's why. So when you're going through the probabilities page for Dahlia, you'll note that at level 12, you cannot get PvE enmity, crit rate bonus, or crit multiplier bonus. It starts for her at level 15. So there are much better options. Now Dahlia is actually hogging your Drakites. You're going to need SSR as food. So what we're going to do here is D-rank the Dahlia. She's not worth keeping as a UR. Remember this important note. Just because you can make a UR doesn't mean that you should. You will get these back. So on to the next one. We have Zenny. Zenny, again, is a problem. If you note, level 12, stats are terrible. Even for level 15, you can't get anything good. PvE enmity starts at level 18. So with both of these last two Zennies, we're going to D-rank. You rank the first one, there's the second. Okay, so now this is what we're working with. Ultimately, first impressions with the URs, you have a lot of good ones, but you heavily need to focus on rebirth. You want to see at least 2 of the core stats that I mentioned. Critical multiplier bonus, critical rate bonus, PvE Enmity. You want them to be purple or gold. Green stats are not good. If you can at least get 2 out of the 4, then I'd start using them. Otherwise, just stick with an SSR. So that being said, let's move on to your SSR. So we actually have an EX here. Now look, this one has critical multiplier bonus. Perfect. However, it doesn't have the P attack up top. So this one we're probably going to use, but we're going to skip for now and put him as a maybe. We're going to move on to the next one. We have all class resistance. This is for PvP. This is like crucial for PvP because of the P attack. We're going to move on. It's good that you got a couple copies of him. This one has P attack with the critical multiplier bonus. This is one of the best in slots for an SSR. This is solid. Don't stress or think negatively that it has int on it because every aptitude stat gives additional stat. Next up, Tyrannus has all class resistance, defense HP. So this one's pretty bad. Good for PvP. And then we get into the Drakites that give no stat. So they are ranked in a priority list. This is where you know that you can stop. So for the blues, it's looking pretty rough. Now we did have Gold Vein that we said is our maybe. We are going to plug him in. That gives us our 2 blue here. Now to the red, we've already evaluated all of the URs, but now we have Stella, who has not been rebirthed, and going through her probabilities. As you can see, Stella does not get anything for level 12 or level 15. So Stella is one that we're going to re-roll. So Stella is going to be one that we're going to derank. And additionally, with Anne, looking at the rebirth, nothing for level 12, nothing for level 15. Anne is another bad one. So we are going to derank Anne. So these are the URs that we have to work with, and we already know that they're not rebirth. So we're looking at some reds, starting with this EX. For Distra, critical rate bonus, very solid, but no P attack up top. So this is going to be a maybe. Then we got Corneric, P attack up top, and critical rate bonus. This one is core. This one's solid. We can socket them right away. You actually want to get as many of these as you can. Have one on each page. Solid choice. Next up, we have Levipard. Got the critical rate bonus down bottom, but we only have crit up top. So again, that's a maybe. Leucemia. Critical rate bonus on the bottom, P attack on the top. This one is another one where you want one on every single page. And now for the reds, we've reached the end of the list where there will be no more stats. So what we're going to do is go back through our maybes. We need one more red. So we're going to plug in Verdictia. Now this page is complete. You can go ahead, get these all to level 12. There's no stones. We're going to go back through. We'll level things up. So jumping into the 4th page, we're going to do the yellows. Again, we know the URs are not ready. So we're going to move on to the EX. And we have Corneric. Now he has PvE resistance. This is good, but it's not one of our 3 core stats that we're looking for. So we use him in case of an emergency. He probably will be used, but we'll get in. He also has the P attack. So we're going to skip him for now. And it's good that you have 2 copies of him. The next one we're looking at, Rubicon. Another one with PvE resistance. This one only has crit. So again, he's in case of an emergency Drakite. We're going to skip him for now. Moving on, we have Churadrill. Another PvE resistance. This one with int. Solid chunk of P attack that you know that you can work toward. Upgrading your purple Pogly weapon. Churadrill is a skip. Then we have Amarilla. Critical rate bonus with Vit strength. Now this one becomes a maybe. So we're going to pass on it for now, but that's a strong maybe. Striker. Yellow. We have P attack up top. Critical rate bonus down bottom. This one, solid choice. Striker is one of the ones you want on all your yellows. Next up, we have Tyrannus. PvE resistance down bottom. You know the drill at this point. That's an emergency one. And now we've reached the bottom of the list. This is where those emergency stats come into play. Going back through our list, PvE resistance can be slotted in. So we'll slot in one of the Corneric and we'll slot in the Rubicon. Yellows are done here. Now we got the blues. So for the blues, again, we have the PvPs for these EXs, but we got a Striker. Critical multiplier bonus on bottom, P attack on top. That one's solid. Socket. Next up, Tyrannus. All class resistance. That is PvP. Fortunately, we are out of stats. So from this point, your only option would be to plug in a PvP Drakite, in which you have 4 of them, or look towards your URs. So what I would do in this situation, I'd evaluate the fact that you're going to be using these for level 6 for now, with the thought of you're going to be rebirthing them. So all of their stats are going to change. That being said, let's take a look at the basic attributes. We have Vit and Strength here, Crit HP here, Crit Resilience here, Int Resilience here, P Attack here. So let's plug in the P Attack as one of your blues. We got Defense HP here, and P attack here, so we'll plug in Dino as your second P attack. And that'll wrap it up for this 4th page. Now we're going to go back. We look at the 2nd page. We got yellows and green. Touch the yellows. Now at this point, we're already very familiar with what we've gone through. Now we know that we're going to use Amarilla. It's got the critical rate bonus. And we're going to go back through. We got Cornerex, PvE resistance. And then lastly, you have 2 more Drakites with PvE resistance. You have Churadrill and you have Tyrannus. But because Tyrannus has the P attack in his on-level stats, I would take the terrain. All right, moving on to green. So green, looking at these EX, we have all class enmity. That's for PvP. Crit multiplier bonus. That's awesome. But no P attack up top. So she's a strong maybe. All class enmity. That's PvP. PvE enmity. Perfect. Vit strength. No P attack. So this is a strong maybe. And then we have critical rate bonus with defense HP. So he's a strong maybe. So now you know you have 3 strong maybes and you need 3 green. So we're going to throw them in. You got Verdistra with the critical multiplier bonus. You got Armorilla with the PvE enmity and Tyrannus. Critical rate bonus. Second page is complete. On to the third page. Looking at red and green. So let's stay on the green. Now you know that you have all class enmity, which is PvP. You have all class enmity, which is PvP. All right, so we got one good one. You got PvE enmity. So we're going to throw him in. That's the green. Now we're down to the Drakites that have no stats. And your EX is a PvP Drakite. And Lavapard. And Lavapard in the green is a PvP with all class enmity. So we go back up to the UR. We're looking for P attack. And we found one with Lacan. Socket him. Now he's going to look like a red or a green. See which one we need to use. Next up, we have the crit. Next. Then HP defense. Then we can use her for the P attack. So keep it in your mind that we're using these as green. We need to find 3 red. Now the first one up, we have critical rate bonus with crit. So that's a strong maybe. Next up, we run out of stats. So we are going to use the Lavapard in the red for the critical rate bonus. Now we have to plug in 2 URs. We have one with crit HP, one with crit resilience, and one with P attack M attack. So we know we'll use Tisha. Additionally, check out what you unlock. Aid. Here you can pick a Drakite to give extra attributes to your Pogli. That's awesome there. So let's finish this off. Looks like crit and HP or crit and resilience. I'm going to recommend that we take the crit and HP with Gamora. So we're going to socket her in, and this page is complete. Now, last page. We have green and blue. This is where things start to get tight. So you're already aware of the blues. We have the PvP with the all-class resistance on Tyrannus, and then we have the PvP with all-class resistance on Constella. So we're going to plug in 3 of your UR, and the 3 that you own be the ones that we can choose. Additionally, check it out. You unlocked another 8. So we'll plug that. Now we move on to the green. Things are getting pretty tight. You know Amarilla's good with the PvE enmity. So that's a socket. But now the last 2 you got, PvPs. All class enmity, all class enmity. So we'll throw your UR in, and the last 2 it boils down to, you got Vit and Strength, Crit Resilient. We're going to take the EX, Goldvine, socket. This is it. Every Drakite is in. There's definitely a lot of room for improvement where you can get rid of some of these PvP Drakite. You need to focus on your rebirth, but overall this is a very complete set of fate. All right, now this is how we're going to level them up. So we're going to go back through, and we're going to reset all of the Drakite that are not being used. So any that are over here that are leveled up still, let's reset them so we can get the resource. We'll reset that one. Let's take a look. I think that might have been the last one. And yes. Okay, so all of these are now reset. Now what we're going to do, starting with the first page, get any SSRs up to level 12. That's the goal. Here we go. We got another level 12 here. Gonna be cutting it close. Okay, we got them to level 10. Now, here's what you need to look for. When you're trying to get these extra stones, you can buy them in the special offer shop. They do get very pricey. You can only buy 10 a day. High Rose Trial will give you a ton of them. Additionally, you can get them from the Whelp Cafeteria. Take note of that because you're definitely going to want to max these guys out to level 12 to get their final skills. For now, I'm actually only going to leave him at level 6 to get the strength because we might need these stones for someone else. So taking a look, the first page looks complete. Moving on to the 4th page. Again, 1st and 4th are your strongest. We're going to want to get these guys up. So Striker, again, we want to max him out. See if we can. We're going to get him up to 6 first. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to have enough stones. We're going to just get him up to level 6. Keep him here. Moving on, we got the Blue Striker. This one, we want to get to level 9. So we're going to go for the level 9 on this Blue Striker for the strength. And luckily, it does look like we have enough here to get him to level 12. So that worked out for the blue. Now we're going to go back and do the URs, but let's move forward and we'll hit page 2. So page 2, we got another yellow here. Upgrade. He needs level 6. So that's good for now. Got another yellow here. He needs level. We got a green one down here. We're going to get him to level 6. All right. So this page for now is complete. Going to page 3. Got one green up top. Gonna get him to level 9. He's got the strength for level 9. Luckily, we do have the stones to get. Actually, we do have the stones to get him to level 15. So there we go. Locked in the PvE enmity. Had just enough stones in the green. Now going for this red one. Needs level 6. Right. Looking like that's where we're gonna have to stop. We're not gonna be able to make it to the level 12 for red. All right. On to the last page. We have one last one, green, to level up. We'll be able to get level 6. So you know that your goal is to get more stones and to get all SSRs up to level 12. Now what we're going to do is go back through the URs. that we do have. We're going to get them all down to level 6. We're going to reset, get it to level 6. Wait, it's not using flow stones yet. Get this one to level 6, this one to level 6, and this one to level. Okay, page, we do have 2 more. Gonna get this one to 6 and this one to level 6. All right, last page. Gonna get Tool to level 6, Iris going to level 6, Dino to 6, and then lastly, Shock, reset and go to 6. Now the crazy thing is you do have a lot of flow stones, so you can get some major levels out of these guys. The problem is they're not rebirthed to get the stats that you need. So what I'm gonna recommend is do your rebirth, keep them all at level 6 until the rebirths show at least 2 purple or gold stat that include PvE enmity, critical rate bonus, critical multiplier bonus. Once you have at least 2, then max it out to level 18. But for the sake of getting your Ionis stat, let's see what the best URs that you have are as an op. Going back through, we hit the 3rd page. Lacan, Cornerex, Ionis, very solid. Great for PvP. Dino, this one's okay. Tisha, this one's all right. Gamora, this one's really. So on page 3, we have 2 possibles. On page 4, we have the Dino again. We have the Tisha again. And on the last page, we have Tool, which this one's okay. Iris, this one's all right. And Shakti, again, that one's just all right. So we know that we have these 2, Lacan and Gamora, that we want to level up solely for their Ionis. Later on, I recommend that these are the 2 that you focus on for rebirth first. So we're going to level these up first. Starting with Lacan, we're going to try and get him to level 18. That was easy. Now we got Gamora. Try and get her to level 18. And we are just running short. Now we need Drakite chunk. So when you're getting these stones, the #1 place to go is to the Drakite exchange. Because as you can see, you have an abundance of these, and you will be able to get her ranked up. So you can make 1,000. We don't need 1,000. We're going to take 100 for now. We'll take 100. Firm. We need these purple ones. You can make 732. We don't need that many. We'll make 100. Firm. Here we go. All right. Gamora, upgrade. 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 Boom. Got her to level 18. Now you have even more. So who I would focus next would be on your 4th page. I would go for Dino, because now you have 3 Dino. You have one on the last page, you have one on the 4th page, and you have one on the 3rd page. So getting them all up to level 18, you could end up getting your skill to level 3 out of 10 and get an even bigger boost. So next I would focus on your Dinos. So we'll try and get this one to 18, and unfortunately it does stop us here at 16. But that's fine. Now you know to shoot for 18 on that. All right, overall, you guys, that is it. That is all the Drakites in their place, the best ones that you can choose. I'm actually going to head up here and rename this tab to PvE, because you should have these labeled as PvE and PvP. In future videos, I'll be putting out guides for making the PvP sets. But for now, this is optimized for the best stats that you guys want to look for PvE. You got a good direction to go in, rebirthing your Drakites, leveling up the ones that still need to be leveled, and hopefully a better understanding as to why these are the URs that you want to keep and which ones you want to look for in the future. That's all I got for you guys. I hope you guys learned a bunch. This has been the Lancer. Throw the video a like, subscribe if you guys aren't already, so you can stay tuned for all my future guides. I appreciate you all. Stay blessed. I hope you guys have a great night. I'll see you on the next one.